Guardians, welcome back to the Sinful Side of Things. I am Mr. Sin, back with some Destiny 2 stuff to talk about. In this video, I want to go over maybe the real reason why there isn't going to be a Destiny 3 and a content creator who essentially spilled the beans, quote unquote, out of his own mouth verbatim. And I will tell you which content creator in a little bit. And I also want to go over that, Bungie's going to be removing 60% of the game. And Luke Smith asked some creators to stop by the dev office and have a meeting on should there be a Destiny 3 or not. So is, content creators to blame, or is it the coding issues? But before I get into that, I just want to say thank you guys so very much for the continued support. You know what I mean? A couple more subscribers. My last video got 10 likes, guys. That is awesome. For a small content creator like myself, to me, that means the world, man. So without further ado, let's get into the reason why you're all here. The reason why Beyond Light will be lit, get it, is because it was essentially supposed to be Destiny 3, but the reskins need to go. A lot of people, including myself, are saying that the new subclasses look a lot like the old ones, that we have now. Basically, the Blaze Barrage for the Hunter, and Thunder Crash for the Titan, and like a Icy Nova Bomb-ish for the Warlock. And while it's awesome to be getting the Cosmodrome back, I feel Bungie should have made, 2 locations, Europa and the Cosmodrome, plus maybe another one to go with those, right? Because we're basically, paying for stuff that we bought years ago. Like in Destiny 1, we already had the Cosmodrome. I am so hyped to have the Cosmodrome back. I am very nostalgic. I'm a very nostalgic person, but at the same time, I don't feel like paying for stuff that we had years ago. That's just my own opinion. But was it smart not to make a Destiny 3, right? The only downfall would be to start all over, but would it be smarter or not smarter to overpay or repay for reskins? Anyway, so in this meeting that I said earlier, Bungie had with the big content creators, Bungie called some big content creators to have a meeting about Destiny 3 and the coding and everything that's going on, because I guess that they value their insight, which is smart, I guess, because who knows better than people who play 16, 17 hours a day? Okay, but here's my thought. Was their recommendation for no Destiny 3 based on for the good of the game, the player population, or was their decision or overall impression to not make a Destiny 3 for their own end? And if you've been paying attention, the majority of the big content creators would rather keep Destiny 2 going. And I understand why, right? Because if Bungie would actually have made a Destiny 3, you see how we got, Beyond Light pushed back to, November 22nd or November 10th. It was supposed to come out September 22nd. I got pushed back to November 10th. I feel that if they were indeed going to make a Destiny 3, they would have to push that back, 6 months to a year, and not having any content at all for these content creators to make would basically, render their channels very, very dead. So is that why they wanted Destiny 2 to keep going and not a Destiny? I mean, who knows, man? I'm not, throwing them under the bus or anything. I would just like some answers. That's all. I just really would like to pick their brain on why keep Destiny 2 when we could have had literally everything fresh. And one of those reasons is because Aztec Cross, you guys know him. I know him. I'm subscribed to him. Great content creator. I watch his stuff every single time he drops a video, whatever, all that stuff. He said, he spills in the beans. He's been waiting for a TWAB, for Bungie to drop a TWAB about the coding. The coding is unreal right now. The coding issues are plaguing Bungie, which seems nearly impossible to get done. For instance, Aztec Cross, if I'm saying his name wrong, I'm sorry. I'll just call him Cross. Also stated he's been waiting for Bungie to drop a TWAB, about this coding, and it needs to, be redone completely, and what they're taking off the menu, and whether or not they needed to take out a planet at a time in order, just to do that. Okay, basically what I'm saying is, in order to, make Beyond Light or Destiny 3, they would have to take a planet out at a time. They would literally have to rebuild the entire game from scratch. And I understand that frustration. I mean, that would have been crazy, especially with this pandemic going on. How are they supposed to do that when they can't even gather their team in one place at their studio and do what needs to be done to make our game great again? You know what I mean? Or not again, you know what I'm saying? Aztec also said too that it was a long and open discussion, 8 hours to be exact, and that was just with the content creators. And regardless, what was said, right, they would have to take out some of these planets, off the map, redo them, recode them, and then finally reissue them. Ultimately, Bungie told the content creators this is the alternative to Destiny 3, hence Beyond Light, because Beyond Light, as we all know, was supposed to be Destiny 3. And this is why Bungie asked the creators to the studio and said, listen, if we do Destiny 3, it would essentially still be Beyond Light. It's just that you would basically, start all over. Okay. And Luke Smith also asked them, why do you guys want a Destiny 3? And what is it that Destiny 3 would have that Destiny 2 couldn't have, or already didn't have, implemented or, accomplished? So another reason Bungie went with Destiny 2 instead of Destiny 3 is because, like I said before, they would have to recode every single thing, along with the content creators saying no to Destiny 3. Like, if you go watch that video from Aztec Cross, he flat out says, yeah, but he was like referring to like, players and stuff like that. He goes, why don't we just have Destiny 3? He flat out just said no. I'm telling you, big content creators, they don't want Destiny 3. I would really love for Bungie to make a poll. I know that they're not making Destiny 3. I know this conversation might seem old, but I wanted Destiny 3. Anyway, I would love for Bungie to make a poll, like yay or nay, for shits and giggles. Who wants Destiny 3 and who wants Destiny 2 to keep going? I would just love to see those numbers. I really would. Basically what they were saying is if they made Destiny 3, it would be Destiny 2 vanilla all over again. So by sticking with Destiny 2, Bungie can make the game more MMO-ish. So like I stated before, this is just a discussion video because, it's too much to type. So I don't feel like, typing and talking about it in words. So I'd rather just speak my mind. And I gotta say, all this time, I really been looking forward to Destiny 3. I was so hyped for it. Like last year, I'm like, man, I can't wait for Destiny 3. I bet we're gonna get this. I bet we're gonna get that. I bet, our ships are gonna be worth something other than a fancy loading screen. Maybe we can fly in them. I know this isn't Star Fox. Before any of you say, I know this isn't Star Fox, but I just want to fly on my ship. Is that too much to ask? Or, maybe put a turret on my Sparrow? I mean, we're riding around. Why not? But I just want some guns to shoot, right? So anyway, mostly it's all, would have been, brand new instead of getting reskinned content. I enjoy having to start all over, right? I like leveling up our Guardians and our subclasses and chasing down all new weapons, plus having a, brand new cleared out vault to fill up with weapons that I'll never use. I understand, the technical limitations Bungie has with this game, especially during this pandemic, and having to recode everything, even for Beyond Light, is crazy to even like try to fathom that, right? But I wanted to know, in a perfect world, right, the big content creators, would they still vote against having Destiny 3 if, the coding issues wasn't a coding issue? And why did Bungie only ask the content creators for their input, right? Are us little people not important, Bungie? Are we not important? Like I said, they need to have a poll. Why not? Ask us too, Bungie. We play your game too, man. Just because we're all the way down here, we can still see you. But maybe, just maybe, say like, after Lightfall, title pending or whatever. I don't feel like Destiny's ever going to end. I really don't think so, because regardless of how toxic Destiny players are, and you all know who you are, even though they won the #1 community award, this is a very toxic community for no reason too. Anyway, I like to stay positive, okay? But I'm remaining hopeful that maybe in 5 years that it'll be a Destiny 3 after Lightfall, right? Like, here's hoping. I don't know. I understand that they don't want to put a number at the end of the box. Okay, fine. Then just call it Destiny. It's cool. I got a pit bull named Destiny, so that's cool. So I don't know, man. Like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, thumbs up. If you guys want to catch me later, subscribe, hit the notification bell. And if you want to discuss something, hit me in the comments. And if you don't know by now, you should already know. If you ain't sinning, you ain't winning. Eyes up, Guardian.